week, and potential Irish investments in Guyana to be highlighted at upcoming forum. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast with the results of the National Grade 6 Assessment, NGSA, which saw students improving in their performances in the subject areas of mathematics and science. Rupert Seniorine reports that there was a minuscule dip in the pass rate for social studies, while English saw a steady grade.
A breakdown of the country's performance was provided by Senior Manager of Examinations, Administrations and Security at the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, Teddy Rajan. The overall pass rate for mathematics was 39.87% when compared to 34.77% in 2022. The science pass rate was 55.11% this year, an upward trend from last year's 46.45%. More candidates obtained full marks than the last few years. Meanwhile, English recorded a pass rate of 64.47%, showing steady improvement over the last 4 years. Last year, the pass rate was 64.75%. For social studies, there was a 0.3% decrease in the performance from 2022 results, standing at 58.57%. These results represent students who scored 50% and above at the NGSA.
The 2023 performance exceeds historical over the current 4 years. Shifting a focus on the quartile distribution, for quartile 1, which represents the 0 to 25%, we have a total representation of 3,742 candidates, comprising 2,476 males and 1,273 females.
Education Minister Priya Manikchand stated that this cohort of students was in the grade 3 level when the COVID pandemic struck, a foundation year in their primary education. As such, a lot needed to be done. This included activities on the Guyana Learning Channel, past papers online, textbooks for every child, and facilities to extend the lessons and materials for every student beyond the coastland. The minister has promised that whichever school a student is placed, they will receive the same quality of education.
Our commitment to you is whichever school you go to, you'll have the same services. Some of those will be that students can cross-stream wherever they go, right? As many subjects as they want, wherever they go. We're not encouraging many subjects, but we're saying your choices shouldn't be limited by geographic location or which school you attain.
Some 15,360 students wrote the NGSA on May 3rd and 4th, 2023. Of this number, 287 were Spanish-speaking students. Rupa Seniorine, The Evening News.
Here is Rupert Seniorine again with this story on the country's top performers at this year's National Grade 6 Assessment, NGSA, which saw 3 students tying at first place.
With the highest obtainable mark of 507.7, 3 students earned 506.7 marks, earning them the title of first place at this year's National Grade 6 Assessment. The tied top performers are Glassford Archer of Lenora Primary School, Anaya Jagnandan of the New Guyana School, and Ritisha Gobin of Academy of Excellence. They were offered a place at the prestigious Queen's College.
Happy to know that my school is having a rank. It's finally up there. Well, by the way the exam said, I was gonna expect I was in the top 50. I used to be studying till around 12. Yeah. And then I would be studying before I go to school. Even in class, when I have free time, I would be reading a book.
I would study, I would do different quizzes and programs online to help me build my skills and stuff. The exam, it wasn't I wouldn't say it was neither too easy nor too difficult. It was just like an average exam that you've been preparing for your whole life, so you know what you're doing there. I would like to become an astronomist and go into space and discover like all these planets and galaxies and stuff.
I felt very excited. At the same time, I'm very nervous. But it was... In fourth position were 5 students with 505.8 marks. They are Savannah McIntosh and Relance Marcus from Green Acres Primary School, and Aradia Ramjak, Samara James, and Ariana Samad from Mays Under 12 Primary School. Coming in 9th place with 505.7 marks are 4 students, Afira Ali of Chatumargo Primary School, Riyad Bash of Saraswat Primary School, Jada Pike of Winfrey Gardens Primary School, and Ria Jaisarai Singh of New Guyana School.
I did all the questions I knew and then went back to the ones I wasn't certain of. Well, the pressure of what secondary school you're gonna get is gone, so it's kind of a relief.
My dad used to teach me mathematics after dinner, and at school my teachers really helped me with my work. And I try to do well in my quizzes as well.
The main I would use is like to read and not to just rush through the words as to do it, just to do it, but I would read so I could remember it. And I would work with my parents, and that would also help me, the teacher. And like when I had nothing to do, I would occasionally take up a textbook and read or start doing some exercises.
It made me feel happy and proud, and I had to do hard work and dedication to get in preparation to get here.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Just months after a horrific fire devastated the Parika market in Region 3, a fire suspected to be electrical in origin has ravaged the charity market in Region 2, leaving 3 firemen injured and stallholders counting millions of dollars in losses. Tasia Dickinson tells us more.
Charity market on fire. Charity market on fire. Next to the Garland supermarket, charity market on fire.
The Charity Old Market located on the Essequibo coast was on Thursday evening destroyed by a fire that is suspected to have originated from an electrical meter placed at the center of the market. The incident occurred around 19:20. According to police reports, a sergeant of police on his way to the Charity police station observed smoke emanating from the roof in the middle of the market and immediately alerted the security guards who were on duty there. The Anna Regina Fire Service was subsequently contacted and water tenders were immediately dispatched to the scene.
Immediately, our 2 tenders responded very promptly. When we arrived on scene, the center of this section of the market was fully alight, fully engulfed. Efforts by the firefighter to quickly cut off this fire from spreading to the entire building was successful. I must at this point give kudos to the regional authorities who would have assisted in ensuring that we can access unlimited supply of water.
Commanding Officer for the Guyana Fire Service in Region 2, Andrew Holder. Holder further explained that several persons who were attempting to save their goods hindered the work of the officers who were trying to put out the fire.
I'm asking persons, whenever you see firefighters out there trying to accomplish full extinguishment, kindly give them some space to work. All right, it's not safe. Keep a distance until you're told that you can access whatever it is you're trying to access.
During the ordeal, 3 firemen were injured. Police said leading fireman Tribuan and Section Officer Springer received electrical shocks while an object fell to the head of fireman Ramdahin, who received minor injuries. They were all rushed to the Suddy Public Hospital for medical attention. These are some scenes of the aftermath of the devastating blaze as of Friday morning. The evening news spoke with several vendors who are still counting their losses, but called on the government to provide assistance to help them get back on their feet.
I'm the owner of 2,021 cupboards for myself and my grandchildren for their schooling, the cupboards are. So I stock it, sell, and so they could have a good education. And every one of them soup right now, one of the stores, they had to break the door, everything damaged inside. So I can't tell you the damage or how much or whatever. But a huge amount of material, I mean cloth, right? School bags, footwear, clothing in the whole. So unless you go and see them, you would not be able to know or know the amount.
I've only started selling in the market 3 weeks now. I made a huge investment in marine supplies along with some other convenience, and this is a big loss for me. Like I'm still floating from last night. I do hope that the relevant authorities could, do something for us, because this is not. It was a real struggle for me, to get this far, and in a matter of 3 weeks, everything just went up in flames.
I've been in business for like about 9 years now. I'm in the market for about 8. And even though we've had flooding and stuff, this is by way far the worst news you can get in the night. When you're so far away and knowing that you cannot save anything. And I don't know how it would rest with the government, but at least we all as vendors would like to know that we can expect something, I mean, that's what we can, that's the only thing we can think about to restart, is some kind of monetary help. It's not only our loss, but it's a loss as a community as a whole, so I don't know how we would go from here. I can just hope that after such a tragedy that we can all rise, better than we were before. But charity needs to be upgraded, and let's start on a positive note, even though it's a negative situation.
The total estimated losses and damages as a result of the blaze are still being assessed, even as the fire service continues its investigation into the cause of the fire. The charity market fire comes months after the Perica Market Center was completely destroyed on February 10th by a raging inferno that destroyed its structure with millions of dollars of goods inside. The fire service had disclosed that residue from a welding torch came into contact with nearby combustible materials, leading to that horrific fire. Tasia Dickinson, The Evening News.
Popular city businessman, 42-year-old Safras Khan, was last evening shot several times during an alleged attempted execution in front of his Austin Street, Campbellville, Georgetown home. Gunshots rang out in the village at around 2000 hours, and when neighbors investigated, they saw the suspect fleeing the scene in a motor car while the victim was seated in his car, bleeding profusely. Police stated that the businessman had left his work site at Eccles on the east bank of Demerara at about 1950 hours in his white Toyota Primo car bearing registration number PVV 8859, and as he was making his way home, he observed a silver-gray Alliant motor car trailing him. As Khan turned into the entrance of his home and stopped his car, the suspect immediately approached with a gun. On seeing that, the businessman, according to detectives, armed himself with his licensed pistol and discharged rounds in the direction of the assailant. In retaliation, the suspect riddled the victim's car with bullets, after which he re-entered the silver-gray car, which subsequently sped away from the scene. The victim was immediately rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was admitted and his condition is now regarded as stable. Detectives have since found 27 spent shells of .223 ammunition on the roadway, and another 13 spent shells of 9mm ammunition in the victim's car. In addition, bullet holes were found on a concrete fence, a veranda, and the garage gate. Another car, a gray BMW owned by the victim, had a hole in the right front door. The police have since confirmed that Can sustained gunshot injuries to the thigh and left elbow. Meanwhile, one person has been arrested following the seizure of some $10.6 million worth of cocaine by law enforcement authorities. The bust was made yesterday when officers of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, conducted an operation at the Young Professional Housing Scheme at Providence, East Bank, DEMERARA. During the operation, the ranks intercepted motor car PVV 4385, which had a male occupant who has since been identified as 32-year-old Parmenan Passad of Hurstellin, East Bank, Demerara. A subsequent search of the motor car revealed 9 brick-like parcels suspected to be cocaine. The suspect, along with the parcels, were taken to CANU headquarters where the substance was tested positive for cocaine, with a weight of 23 pounds and a street value of $10.6 million. Vanu Manikchan joins us now to report that Chinese-owned bauxite company Bosai Minerals Group Guyana Inc. today commissioned a new rotary kiln, number 15, a piece of equipment that will enhance efficiency and lower production costs at the company's mining site in Linden, Region 10. In this report, you will hear President Dr. Irfan Ali has charged the company to ensure that they reach their production targets set for this year while ensuring that the rights of workers are protected.
At the commissioning ceremony in Linden, Region 10 on Friday, Managing Director of the China-based Bosai Group, Yuan Zilun, highlighted the benefits of the newly commissioned equipment.
After the old kiln are phased out, we are confident that the new rotary kiln, number 15, and the dry kiln, number 16, will bring about higher efficiency and lower production costs, especially in terms of kiln number 15. It is the first new kiln being building up by BMGT since the 1970s, so half century already. With a capacity 1.5 times that of an old one, it will take the productivity of BMGT to a new height, laying a solid foundation for the sustainable development of the company.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Irfan Ali noted that while government is committed to ensuring the viability of Bosai's investment, the company must work towards meeting its targets.
We want to see you accomplishing the targets that you set for 2023. I notice in the figures that you're 132,000 tons at the moment. Your target is closer to 470,000 tons for the year. So I would look forward to hearing from you how we're going to accelerate. I know the kiln was one of the bugbearer, and now that it's in operation, that you will have an accelerated movement towards accomplishing that target. So we are holding you accountable to that target.
However, even as he charged the company to fast-track its production, the head of state cautioned the company to ensure the protection of workers' rights.
Our policy making must be one in which investment is not discouraged, but at the same time, one in which the workers' rights, privilege, and their advancement is also protected. And that is the primary objective of the policy making and moving this sector forward.
Meanwhile, Chinese ambassador to Guyana, Go Haiyan, noted that this investment by Bosai to boost its operations is reflective of the growing confidence of Chinese investors in Guyana, especially in the mining sector.
Cooperation in mining sector between China and Guyana is significant. As I know, the Chinese mining companies has made a big amount of investment in Guyana, enhanced productivity and export. As I know, these mining companies here, they have created over 2,500 jobs for local people, increased their income and helped improve their livelihood.
Reporting for Earth Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
PVP reps take over Bartica Town Council as APNU regains leadership in New Amsterdam. An e-bike law about road safety, Jagdeo says, as users protest burdensome measure.
energy drink rolling out the Turbo Hot Summer Wheels promotion. Win a brand new 2023 Honda HR-V plus over $3 million in weekly cash and prizes. Just grab any bottle of Turbo energy drink, Buster or Classic, and locate the 8-digit code on the bottle. Then visit Turbo IG and Facebook at Turbo_Caribbean for more details. Conditions apply.
Knock off. The Oreos belong to us.
No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street, John Lewis style.
Poultry farmers, save money and increase your production rate by cutting the time it takes to pluck your chickens with a plucking machine from Sylvies. We have them available in small, medium and large sizes. Replacement motors and plucking fingers are also readily available. Order yours now at sylviesonline.com or at our locations at 31 High and Hatfield Street, Georgetown, or Lot 90 East Henrietta, Essex.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. In a few months' time, Guyana is expected to mark its attendance at the first ever Caribbean and Latin American Business Forum based in Ireland, which will facilitate dialogue on business opportunities and encourage future Irish investments into the country. This was one of many disclosures made by the outgoing Irish ambassador to Guyana during an interview with the evening news' Pooja Rambaran. Here is this story.
Outgoing Ireland Ambassador to Guyana Sean Hoy on Thursday spoke with the Evening News on the current Ireland-Guyana relations. He specifically mentioned the Caribbean and Latin American Business Forum based in Dublin, Ireland, which will be held in November and has the potential to establish Guyanese-Irish business partnerships.
The idea of the forum is to determine what the level of interest is. But I know a lot of Irish companies are sometimes a little hesitant about Latin America because they don't understand the language. But Guyana is, you have a real advantage there. But also there's an Irish history and there's a direct route here. So I think there's potential in the supply chain for oil and gas, for infrastructure, but also in the soft side of things, teaching, health work, all of these things. You have a potential to get a lot of these things right. I would really like to see Guyana come to Dublin to talk about the potential in your country and the fact to look for stakeholders, investors and good partners in the future. And I believe there are many people in Ireland that will have an interest in hearing this and responding.
The ambassador added that Ireland is also willing to share their expertise on training and investing in the local workforce. Guyana and Ireland established diplomatic relations since 2000. While an honorary consulate has existed in the country for some time now, Hoy has been the first ever Ireland ambassador to Guyana since 2019. As he is based in Brazil, this marks his final trip to Guyana in this professional capacity, with a new non-resident ambassador expected to take his place in August. Hoy remarked on the tremendous progress he has seen in Guyana over the years.
Guyana, to me, represents a country that's very fortunate because you have the ability to use natural resources, the oil and gas, in a way that is compatible with the challenges we have in the climate, because you also have a very high level of forest cover. But I think the other important thing is you have a small population. So as the country becomes richer, you have a real chance, with the right policies and the right leadership, that everybody in the country will benefit and everybody will be in a better place in a very short time.
In addition to expanding on the business relations between the two countries, Hoy said that academic opportunities also exist. He noted that 2 Guyanese have already taken up this opportunity.
We're advertising that program again. It will be on, it's on our website, and we're looking for young people from the region, including from Guyana, to take up the opportunity and come and study with us in Ireland.
Meanwhile, the ambassador noted that given Ireland's large history of migration, their knowledge when it comes to connecting with the diaspora can be particularly helpful.
I know that in Guyana you have many people overseas in different countries. They can be part of your future. It's not about bringing them back, but it's about connecting them to your economic growth, to sending out the message of where you want to be in the future, using them as ambassadors and telling the good story about Guyana.
Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
Following a week of negotiations with the DEMERARA Bank Limited, President Dr. Irfan Ali today announced the rollout of several loans accessible to small poultry farmers to aid them in getting back into production. Here is Pooja Rambran again with the details.
President Dr. Irfan Ali made this disclosure on Friday during a poultry symposium hosted by the Guyana Livestock Development Authority at the Arthur Chang Convention Center. He noted that several concerns raised by poultry farmers previously had been on the need for low-cost financing to aid their production.
We've arrived at a position of loans $500,000 and less. This is for the small farmers. They are willing to facilitate a 3.5%. 3.5% interest rate from 7%. Between $500,000 to $1 million, 4%. Between $1 to $5 million, they have agreed to do those loans. Between $1 to $5 million at 5.5%. I think this is a great day for the poultry industry when the financial institutions have all come on board in supporting this transformation.
He added that mechanism is also being put in place to expedite the process for farmers seeking loans totaling $1 million and less.
With a mechanism that we will set up that include the Poultry Association, the GLDA, the Ministry, the Bank and Ministry of Finance. For those with $1 million and less, they will look at using letter of assignment. That is if you're doing contract farming for someone else, as part of the collateral basis to give you those loans, to expedite the pace at which the loan will be granted.
Next week, poultry farmers can return to the convention center to begin processing their loans.
So right here at the convention center, next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I don't want you to go into any bank and see anyone with tie and suit. You will come here, I'll ask the bank to meet you here with a project team so that they can begin the processing of those loans and those facilities for the farmers.
The President noted that the Guyana Marketing Corporation and the Project Implementation Unit will facilitate this process alongside the bank. Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
Andrew Carmichael joins us now to report that representatives of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, have secured the top 2 positions in the Bartica Town Council, a historic turn of events considering that the municipality is considered a stronghold of the Partnership for National Unity. Meanwhile, over in New Amsterdam Region 6, APNU has regained control of the town. However, its representation on the council has decreased. Here are the details.
In a historic turn of events, the town of Bartica in Region 7, Kuyuni Mazuruni, will now be led by a representative of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, following the just concluded local government elections on June 12th. The town's new mayor is Anthony Murray, replacing Guilford Marshall of the Partnership for National Unity, APNU. The deputy mayor's position went to Gaylan Prasad, also of the PPP. Bartica has traditionally been known as a People's National Congress, PNC-led APNU stronghold area. Following this year's elections, both the PPP and APNU now occupy 9 seats each on the town council, but the PPP has the popular vote. Previously, APNU and its Alliance for Change partner combined held the majority. Meanwhile, in New Amsterdam Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine, APNU's Wainwright McIntosh, who previously served as deputy mayor under the Winifred Harewood mayorship, got the full support of all the APNU councillors for the post of mayor. The new deputy mayor is Kirk Fraser.
I, Kirk Fraser,
solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of Councillor at the Mayor and Town Council, New Amsterdam, without fear or favor, affection or ill will, according to the best of my judgment and ability.
The 14-seat council comprised of 8 from APNU and 6 from the PPP. The others are Pollyann Schultz, Buster Wright, Vanessa Benjamin, Javon Stevens, Cardell Austin, Onika Ramsuchit, Carol Trim, Kwesi Isaac, Joel Adams, Joel Amsterdam, Nelson Blake, Nicole Luther, and Rupchand Singh. Previously, APNU and AFC combined had 11 seats while the PPP had 3. In 2016, the PPP had 1 seat on the council while the APNU AFC had 13. Meanwhile, Mayor McIntosh, speaking with the media, pointed out the inability of municipal staff to carry out their functions and responsibilities.
When our staff are empowered, they will be in a better, they will be much better able to carry out their functions and responsibility. Administratively speaking, I'm requesting the Town of New Amsterdam, while councillors are elected to serve the citizens of New Amsterdam, while we will be sitting from a policy level, I'm looking for more engagement and interaction with residents. I will definitely be having an open door policy where residents can feel free at any time to approach me with suggestions, any concerns, query you may have. Feel free to approach the mayor's office. My office will be open to facilitate residents and persons of the business community.
The mayor is calling on residents to hold staff accountable. He said the municipal staff is paid to ensure residents of the town of New Amsterdam receive service.
From the town clerk right down, I'm asking residents to help me to hold the staff, especially the administrative staff, accountable for this stewardship.
For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
Meanwhile, the new mayor of Corriverton is Imam Amin, who previously served as deputy mayor, while the new deputy mayor is Satyanan Ramraj. In the town of Rose Hall, Dave Budu was re-elected as mayor with Roydell Lewis as his deputy. We now tell you that users of electric bikes are protesting government's move to regulate the application of this type of vehicle on the country's roadways, crying that it will be burdensome. However, Vice President Barajagio has hit back, noting that the measure is needed to guarantee road safety. Find out more in this report.
In May, the National Assembly passed amendments to the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act to allow electric bikes to be subjected to the same regulations as motorcycles, in a move that was intended to address the alarming increase in road fatalities and incidents involving this category of vehicles. Effective July 4, the Guyana Revenue Authority began to register e-bikes. Among the requirements for registration, persons must be the holder of a valid driver's license to operate the e-bikes on the country's roadways. However, on Thursday, a handful of persons took to the streets at Blairmont in Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine, to protest this development. Former councillor of the Blairmont-Gelderland Neighbourhood Democratic Council, Tejram Prasad, said it is almost impossible for owners to take their e-bikes from Blairmont, Ithaca and Shieldstone to Fort Wellington, where the registration is taking place. He explained that the bikes do not have enough battery or power to go and owners cannot afford to take the bikes to Fort Wellington by other means. Meanwhile, during Thursday's protest, some persons argued that they were among the first to purchase the bikes, hence government should waiver the $6,000 registration fee for them. Weighing in on this development during a broadcast interview on Thursday, Vice President Dr. Barjagdio contended that the regularization of e-bikes is a matter of safety.
We are not interested in collecting taxes. We don't want money for registration from these people. So let me make that clear. That is not a revenue earning measure. I think the idea was to register to bring some control. We have to make this process a simple process. We have to put in some rules in place that would ensure safety, but without it becoming burdensome to people. So they need to give us some time to work this through. I want to assure people that whatever emerges, and we're working on this now, we have to deal with a safety issue. A lot of people are getting killed on the road because of the lack of safety measures. These bikes are not ordinary bikes. Not the pedal one I'm talking about. Not the ones that are pedal, the motorized ones that don't have pedals. So they're similar to like a motorbike. When they come on the public road, remember there are other users, and these are silent because they're electric bikes. So we have to ensure that we can keep the people safe and also others from having accidents.
Owners of electric motorcycles have been advised to present a completed motor vehicle registration application form, purchase receipt or affidavit of lost purchase receipt, and a valid identification when registering their electric motorcycles. It was also announced that the standard rate for registration and motor vehicle revenue license will apply, and that persons must be the holder of a valid driver's license to use these electric motorcycles on the roadways. The Guyana Revenue Authority had also said, in collaboration with the Guyana Police Force, it will allow a 3-month voluntary registration period, after which the law will be enforced by both agencies.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
There will be no retraction of the DEMERARA Harbour Bridge on Saturday, July 8. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, July 8 at 8:05 hours for a period of 1.5 hours.
New Amsterdam Multilateral knocked out as FIREMEN's Irvin goalkeeper keeps team on the hunt, and lives transformed. GDF thanks Tiger Rentals for partnership in football tournament. Details of these stories and more in the Sportscast, sponsored by McCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Place your bets during the matches and win up to $3 million per coupon with live betting. Check out all the different matches and bet types at www.superbet.gy. Superbet, your best bet. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply.
Turbo energy drink rolling out the Turbo Hot Summer Wheels promotion. Win a brand new 2023 Honda HR-V plus over $3 million in weekly cash and prizes. Just grab any bottle of Turbo energy drink, Buster or Classic, and locate the 8-digit code on the bottle. Then visit Turbo IG and Facebook at Turbo_Caribbean for more details. Conditions apply.
Knock off. The Oreos belong to us.
No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.